It's story time with Mrs. Richardson.
It's story time with a great classic. A great classic because it's been enjoyed by many for many, many years. I bet your grandparents read this book to your mom and dad. And maybe your mom and dad has read this book to you. It's about a duck named Ping. But if you haven't read this story before, you're really gonna like it. This book was published in 1933, and people are still reading it. It's a great classic. Let's get started. The story about Ping. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful young duck named Ping. Ping lived with his mother and his father and 2 sisters and 3 brothers, 11 aunts, 7 uncles, and 42 cousins. Their home was a boat with 2 wise eyes on the Yangtze River. And by the way, the Yangtze River is in China, and it's the 3rd longest river in the world. Each morning as the sun rose from the east, Ping and his mother and his father and sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles, and how many cousins? 42 cousins, all marched one by one down a little bridge to the shore of the Yangtze River. Look at them all marching down. Where do you think they're going? Maybe they're going to find food. All day they would hunt for snails and little fishes and other pleasant things to eat. But in the evening, as the sun set in the west, la 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 lee would call the master of the boat. Quickly, Ping and all his many family would come scurrying. Quickly they would march one by one up over the little bridge and on to the wise-eyed boat, which was their home on the Yangtze River. Ping was always careful, very, very careful not to be last, because the last duck to cross over the bridge always got a spank on its back. The master wanted to make sure that he kept up with all the ducks, so the ducks had to be responsible. And they needed to know that when he said la 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 lee, that they needed to be close to the boat and ready to go on the boat. But one afternoon, as the shadows grew long, Ping did not hear the call, because at that moment, Ping was wrong side up, trying to catch a little fish. His wrong side was up. His head was under the water. By the time Ping was right side up, his mother and father and aunts were already marching one by one up over the bridge. By the time Ping neared the shore, his uncles and cousins were marching over. And by the time Ping reached the shore, the last of his 42 cousins had crossed the bridge. Ping knew he would be the very last duck if he crossed the bridge. Ping did not want to be spanked. So he hid. Ping hid behind the grasses, and as the dark came and the pale moon shone in the sky, Ping watched the wise-eyed boat slowly sail away down the Yangtze River. All night long, Ping slept near the grasses on the bank of the river, with his head tucked under his wing. And when the sun rose up from the east, Ping found he was all alone on the Yangtze River. Do you think he was afraid, being all alone? Would you have been afraid? There was no father, no mother, or sisters or brothers, no aunts or uncles, no 42 cousins to go fishing with. So Ping started out to find them, swimming down the yellow waters of the Yangtze River. And as the sun rose higher in the sky, boats came. There were big boats and little boats and fishing boats and beggar boats, houseboats, raft boats. And all these boats had eyes to see with, but nowhere could Ping see the wise-eyed boat, which was his home. Then came a boat full of strange dark fishing birds. Ping saw them diving for fish for their master. As each bird brought a fish to his master, he would give it a little piece of fish for pay. Closer and closer swooped the fishing birds near Ping. Now Ping could see shining rings around their necks, rings of metal made so tight that the birds could never swallow the big fish that they were catching that they gave their master. But when the birds gave their master the larger fish, the master would feed them a little piece of fish which they could swallow for food. Swoop, splash, splash! The ring birds were dashing here and there all around Ping. So down Ping ducked, and he swam under the yellow waters of the Yangtze River. When Ping came up to the top of the water, far away from the fishing birds, he found little crumbs floating, tender, light little rice cake crumbs, which made a path to a houseboat. I bet Ping was really hungry, and he started eating those crumbs. That's exactly what Ping did. As Ping ate these crumbs, he came nearer and nearer to the houseboat. And then, splash! There in the water was a little boy with a barrel on his back. Now I wonder why he had a barrel on his back. Do you think it was to keep him afloat, like maybe a floaty that you would use in a pool? The little boy with the barrel on his back, which was tied to a rope from the boat, just as all boats on the Yangtze River are tied to their boats, was waving the rice cake. "Ow!" cried the little boy, and up dashed Ping, and Ping snatched at that rice cake. Quickly the boy grabbed Ping, and he held him really tight. "Quack, quack, quack!" cried Ping. Oh, yelled the little boy. Ping and the boy made such a splashing and such a noise that the boy's father came running, and the boy's mother came running, and the boy's sister and brother came running. And they all looked over the edge of the boat at Ping and the boy splashing in the water of the Yangtze River. Then the boy's father and mother, they pulled at the rope and they pulled, which was tied to the barrel on the little boy's back. They pulled, and then up came Ping and the boy onto the houseboat. "Ah, a duck dinner has come to us," said the boy's father. "I will cook him with rice at sunset tonight," said the boy's mother. No, my nice duck is too beautiful to eat," cried the boy. He didn't want to use Ping as his dinner. But down came a basket all over Ping, and he could see no more of the boy or the boat or the sky or the beautiful yellow water of the Yangtze River. All day long, Ping could see only the thin lines of sun which shone through the cracks in the basket, and Ping was very, very sad. After a long while, Ping heard the sound of oars, and he felt the jerk, jerk, jerk of the boat as it was towed down the Yangtze River. Soon the lines of sunshine which came through the cracks of the basket turned rose color, and Ping knew that the sun was setting in the west. Ping heard footsteps coming near to him. What do you think is going to happen? The basket was quickly lifted, and the little boy's hands were holding Ping. Quickly, quietly, the boy dropped Ping over the side of the boat, and Ping slipped into the water, the beautiful yellow water of the Yangtze River. And then Ping heard a very special calling. La, 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 lee. It was the master. Ping looked, and there near the bank of the river was the wise-eyed boat which was Ping's home. And Ping saw his mother and father and his aunts all marching one by one up over the little bridge. Swiftly Ping turned and swam, paddling toward the shore. Now Ping could see his uncles marching one by one. Paddle, paddle, Ping hurried toward the shore. Ping saw his cousins marching one by one. Paddle, paddle, Ping neared the shore, but as Ping reached the shore, the last of Ping's 42 cousins marched over the bridge, and Ping knew that he would be late again. But up marched Ping, up over the little bridge, and spank came the spank on Ping's back. Look at all of his family. They're watching him. I bet they're very glad to have him back. I bet Ping is very glad to be back. Then at last Ping was back with his mother, father, 2 sisters, 3 brothers, 11 aunts, 7 uncles, and how many cousins? 42 cousins. Home again on the wise-eyed boat of the Yangtze River. Wasn't that a great classic story? One that has been shared with many for many, many years? What do you think Ping should do so that he can hear the calling? The la 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 lee from the master. Do you think it would help if he was right side up and not wrong side up? Do you think that he should stay close to the boat? I think you should too. I'm so glad that you were able to share the story with me, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you for the next story time.